Seven-time Tour de France champion Lance Armstrong facing specific new charges about alleged use of performance enhancers.
This, first of all, clearly was a shock. Each of Lance Armstrong's subsequent Tour victories can be viewed with a certain suspicion.
We'll talk to the head of the World Anti-Doping Agency ahead Outside the Lines.
History in the making, 7 times a winner of the Tour de France. He now retires.
No, there won't be number 8, I can tell you that.
He retired a 7-time champion, a living American legend, with his victory over cancer. But now, reports of specific scientific evidence Lance Armstrong did use a performance-enhancing drug.
This, first of all, clearly was a shock. Each of Lance Armstrong's subsequent Tour victories can be viewed with a certain suspicion.
Allegations that 6 of Armstrong's urine samples from his first Tour de France victory now test positive for a banned drug once popular in cycling. Armstrong has fended off charges for years.
We've proven time in and time out that we're clean, and I can tell you that the controls today in cycling in 2004 are a hell of a lot more than they ever were before.
Tonight, Outside the Lines, specific new charges against an American icon, raising the question, was Lance Armstrong clean?
And now, reporting for Outside the Lines, Bob Lee.
He retired to the life of corporate spokesperson and father with one of the most compelling stories ever in sports. Lance Armstrong, cancer survivor, 7-time winner of the Tour de France. Throughout his career, there was a backbeat of suspicion about his incredible success. Armstrong called himself the most tested athlete in the world, but his sport's proven history of doping fed reports he did use performance enhancers. Today, the French sports newspaper L'Équipe, in a 4-page story, reports that a French lab testing now for EPO, a banned drug that was undetectable 6 years ago, proves that Armstrong used the drug at that time. The banner headline throughout France, "The Lie of Armstrong." The report cites recent drug tests by a French doping laboratory on anonymous urine samples frozen since the 1999 Tour de France. Samples whose control numbers agree with French cycling records, listing the numbers as Armstrong samples dating from his first Tour de France win. The laboratory is unable to confirm the positives are from Armstrong samples. A leading international doping scientist told ESPN that freezing samples is an accepted scientific method, that tests to detect EPO in urine are accurate and have been used since the 2000 Sydney Olympics. The incoming director of the Tour de France was stunned.
This, first of all, clearly was a shock, even if it has been a news topic since 1999. Each of Lance Armstrong's subsequent Tour victories can be viewed with a certain suspicion. At the very least, it was a big shock.
This only confirms what I already knew. Still, it's sad because this is a person who hid behind his illness and implied that it gave him the courage to win the championship. And I really hope that not too many people who have cancer believed in his story.
We have been abused to a certain extent, and this is unacceptable because Armstrong became, after 1999, the great champion that we know today.
The laboratory is providing these results to the World Anti-Doping Agency with the condition that no discipline result from it. The drug in question is EPO, long used illegally in cycling to boost red blood cell production and thus cyclists' endurance. Armstrong Tuesday repeated his denial of ever taking performance enhancers, pointing out the scientific and testing shortcomings of 6-year-old specimens without a B sample with which to confirm the positive. His reign of 7 consecutive Tour de France wins has been matched by a parallel suspicion that at some point he did use performance enhancers in a sport where there is a long and tragic history of cheating.
Everybody wants to know what I'm on. What am I on? I'm on my bike, busting my ass 6 hours a day. What are you on?
Questions began with an infamous videotape in 2000. A French report showing members of Armstrong's support team traveling 100 miles to dispose of garbage, including swabs, syringes, and drug packets, and a blood supplement. Last summer, 3-time Tour de France champion Greg LeMond expressed his skepticism that Armstrong was drug-free.
If it's clean, it's the greatest comeback. If it's not, then it's the greatest fraud.
According to Lamond, his doubts provoked anger and a threat from Armstrong.
Well, he just said, you know, I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends. And he said, well, if you want to throw stones, I can throw stones. And he basically said that I could find 10 people that will say you took EPO. He basically said, you know, come on, everybody's done. Basically, kind of like, hey, everybody, EPO is fairly common. You could not have come back in 1989, and I lost it. That's when I got furious.
Lamond spoke out in the wake of allegations by a former Armstrong team member, specific charges based on diary accounts. That employee, masseuse Emma O'Reilly, gave author David Walsh this account of the one time Armstrong did test positive for a steroid in 1999.
They were going to make up a story, they were going to agree with it, and what they came up with was that Lance had saddle sore and had used the cream Semilite, which contains triamcinolone. And in using this saddle sore cream Semilite, some of the triamcinolone had infiltrated his system, got into his urine, and accounted for the positive test.
Armstrong's masseuse said the team had a doctor backdate a prescription to explain away the presence of steroids. Other allegations have been made against the seven-time champion. Stephen Swart rode on Armstrong's team in the mid-90s. Swart told Outside the Lines Armstrong encouraged team members to use performance enhancers.
To be competitive, we had to take that next plunge. And it wasn't like it was going to be organised for us. It was up to our own doing to get your own medication and go from there. We felt obliged to follow in some degree, you know, and he took that leadership role.
And this year, another former Armstrong team employee, Mike Anderson, alleged he discovered vials of drugs in Armstrong's refrigerator.
What I had in my hand was probably a steroid, and I was very upset about it. I didn't really quite know what to do. It was sort of this burning hot coal in my hand, and what am I going to do with this? I think that Lance figured that he couldn't count on me to keep my mouth shut.
So with these new and specific charges against Lance Armstrong, we turn to Richard Pound. He is the chairman of the World Anti-Doping Agency. He joins us on the telephone. Dick, the report in L'Équipe says that the French lab is going to send their positive, yet anonymous, but positive results to WADA, to the World Anti-Doping Agency. What do you know about that?
Well, I know they had promised to do that. They'd done some research on a whole bunch of samples from the 1999 tour and said, now, we don't have the related codes, so we don't know who they are, but it's very clear from these samples, and we'll send you the reports, that there were an awful lot of riders who tested positive at that time for EPO.
What do you make of today's report in L'Équipe when they correlate the numbers that the French Cycling Federation had with the samples and put them to the samples? Armstrong has 6 positives. What do you make of that?
Well, that's, you know, assuming the documents are genuine, I think that creates a big problem for the Tour de France, for the International Cycling Union, and for Lance, who's one of the athletes involved. It's pretty damning evidence, and maybe there's an explanation for it, and if there is, I'm looking forward to hearing it.
How fair is it to use 6-year-old samples? Admittedly, you can freeze samples, and that's an accepted scientific way of doing it. But the A samples that were originally tested in '99 were used up. These were the B samples, apparently. Lance Armstrong has no recourse now to test and verify this and see if there's any fault in the testing. So how fair is all of this?
I think it's eminently fair, and its fairness is really echoed in the fact that under the World Anti-Doping Code, which is now in force, there's an 8-year look-back period. And the idea is to say to people, if you're out there using drugs and we develop a test sometime after you've provided the sample that will identify, I don't know, the designer steroid or EPO or whatever it may be, we're going to use that, and we're entitled to come after you in respect of your result. So that just when you know, by getting out of town alive doesn't mean that you've got away with it.
But without a B sample, as it were, in the here and now for Armstrong to say, well, I can prove that I was clean in '99, but there's no sample to prove that. Can you reasonably expect the Tour de France or the Cycling Federation to take any sanction here?
I don't know